Hi guys, we are really making our way through our zones. We are already on zone 5, which for me is my boys' rooms. If you happen to miss the introduction on how I break my home up into zones and how I do my detail cleaning, I'm going to put the introduction below and that explains everything, but I know some of you have been following along and I won't take the time to explain it in this video. But definitely check that out. And like I mentioned, we're already on zone 5, but you can catch up at any time. And I have done a lot of the areas of my home already, so be sure to check those links below if you are interested. Now, because my boys are 13 and 16, I'm not going to show the inside of all of their drawers or closets or things like that, just to respect their privacy, but I will let you know everything that I do in these rooms. For today's detail cleaning, I am going to work on straightening my boys' drawers and their closet. Usually they aren't too bad because everything kind of has its place and they just put it back where it goes usually. Now in their top drawers, they have shoe boxes, plastic shoe boxes that I found at the Dollar Tree. And I do my drawers like this too. And I don't want to show inside their drawers just because they're older and I know they wouldn't want me to. But inside their top drawer, I have a shoebox for their, dressier socks or like khaki colored socks and things like that. And then I have one for their, sports socks, one for t-shirts, one for belts and everything like that. So at least everything is contained in one small spot because we know that kids can really, rummage through their drawers and everything. So that keeps it, pretty neat. And then I just wipe out their drawers, just really quickly in case there's any dust in there or whatever. And just kind of go through, because it's spring, I'm going to, make sure there aren't any clothes in their drawers or closets that they no longer wear, or no longer fit them. So I have this dresser and this closet, and then I have this closet in here and this dresser. So because it's spring, it will take me a little bit longer to, go through their clothes a little bit. But usually we take out anything if it doesn't fit. And because my boys are older, I will just kind of ask them, if there's anything that they, don't like anymore. And then we'll go ahead and, put that in a bag and donate it. For today's detail cleaning, I am going to dust and straighten the bookcases that my boys have in their room. So this is one of the bookcases here. And this is just a tall bookcase that we found at IKEA, which is a great place for an inexpensive bookcase if you wanted to add one to, one of your children's rooms. And then I also have this bookcase to dust and straighten in my other son's room. Again, I'm trying to respect my boys' privacy, so I'm not going to show inside of everything. But they each have a basket in their room, and my oldest son keeps his on his nightstand. And we have had baskets in their room since they were toddlers. And we use this to put like all the little things that kids have. So when they were little, and they had like little things that they would get, like they would always get little toys from church for saying their verses or things like that. And if you, buy Happy Meals or kids meals and they get little toys and, all that stuff would be all over your house. Well, we just had a little basket in their room and there are like bookmarks and just whatever miscellaneous things. So they've always had a basket like this in their room, and when they were younger it would be, something cute that would go along with their room and you can kind of decorate it a little bit. But that's where they would keep all of those little things. It's just a great place to keep all of that stuff so it's not, all over the top of the dresser and all of that. So now that they're older, they have, more mature looking baskets, but they still keep whatever miscellaneous stuff in there. And then they each have a little note for all of their cords for their electronics. So I kind of keep that separated so that it's not all tangled in there. But I just kind of go through those. Sometimes I have my boys go through and see if they really want all this stuff. But I just kind of straighten it up. But if there are things that need to be either donated or, useless things that need to be thrown away, I'll just kind of do that. And then this is the basket that my son Josh has in his room, and it's just blue and it kind of goes with his room. But this one is made out of cloth, and if you have baskets like this, I have another one in my laundry room, they get kind of dusty, and you know, if you try to dust them, you just smear the dust around and everything. And I mentioned this before in other videos, but if you use a lint roller, it will just, all of the dust will just stick to the lint roller, and that way, you know, it's a good way to clean it. And I just kind of go along in the inside as well, and then just straighten that up. And then I also have him go through and see if he really wants to keep all of those things. And then each of my boys has a small desk in their room. I purchased these both at IKEA. They're two different desks, but they are very reasonably priced. And this is a great way for them to have a space to either put their laptop, do their homework. My son Josh likes to draw, so he has his drawing things here. My son Christian really likes to write, so he can have his things for writing on there. And I'm not going to show you the drawer again, but Josh's desk has a drawer, so I usually have him go through that when he gets home. I usually write him a little note on his whiteboard, you know, straighten out your desk drawer, and he usually does that. And that way he can throw away any papers or whatever are in there. But I wanted to show you just a couple things that I like for organizing things. I had these canisters which I use for flour and sugar and things, and I actually replaced them when I redid my pantry. So I had these and was trying to think of a way to reuse them. And this is perfect for colored pencils and markers and pens and pencils and scissors and all of that. And we just leave the lid off so that they can easily grab them and put them back. And this is so nice because they can see everything, and it's just a great way to organize, and I didn't have to spend any extra money. So usually I just have it separated with colored pencils, markers, and then pens and pencils are in here, and then whiteboard markers are in the smaller one. And this is the other desk. This is the one that Christian has, and it does not have a drawer, but this matched the furniture that we had because we actually got all of it from IKEA. But he likes to keep a lot of his things organized in a different spot, so he doesn't really have much on his desk, which is nice because then he doesn't have to clean it up. For today's detail cleaning, I'm going to go around the corners of the ceiling and just make sure there isn't any, you know, dust or cobwebs in the corners, and I just move quickly. And then I also dust the top of the door frames here. So I just go around really quickly and do that. And then I also go along the baseboards. I move the furniture out of the way and get behind the bed, and one of the heat ducts is behind there, so I get that. And then also I dust really well under the bed. I usually do a quick swipe under the bed when I do my weekly cleaning, but I really get behind the furniture and under it, so I'll pull the dresser out a little bit, get behind there, move these books that are on the floor and get under there, under the bookcase. You get the idea. I also do the floors inside of their closet, so I get the baseboards in there and kind of move their shoes around just like I showed in my closet, and you know, dust the floor in there really well. For today's detail cleaning, I am going to clean the windows in both of my boys' rooms, and I mentioned this in the other zones, but I tilt the windows in, clean what would be the outside of the window, clean the track of the window, and then clean the inside. I'm also going to go along the tops of the curtains and the bottoms and just suck up any dust with my extension on my vacuum. So I just get the top of the curtains really well, and then I also get the bottoms where the curtains are touching the floor. I'm also going to go around the room and wipe the walls really well. This is especially important when you have younger kids because they're always touching the walls and everything. So I just wipe the walls with a wet rag, and I also make sure to wipe the light switch cover, and then I wipe down their doors. For today's detail cleaning, I just have a few things left. I am going to have my oldest son clean out his nightstand drawer. I have shown this in a few of my videos now, but I just go along the lampshades with my lint roller just really quickly, and all of the dust will stick to the lint roller, because if you've ever tried to use a dust rag on a lampshade, you know it just smears the dust around. But this is just a quick, easy way to clean your lampshade, so I go ahead and do it in here and then in my other son's room. The next thing I'm going to do is just move my chair in here and wipe down the ceiling fan. So I just dust all the blades and around the light fixtures in both of the rooms. The last thing I'm going to do is grab these throw blankets that my boys keep on the end of their bed if they just, you know, want to cover up with them while they're reading or something. So I just grab those and I'm going to wash them. I wash their bedding, like their comforters, bed skirts, and the pillow shams that they don't sleep on, every 6 months. So that is on my list as well. And then I just go ahead and iron the bed skirt so it's nice and neat before I put it back on. So that's everything in my boys' rooms. I hope you found this video helpful. If you are following along with the zones, let me know how you're doing. Thanks so much for watching.